Welcome to our general band sequence. Before we do this, it's a distraction technique for the shoulder. We always want to qualify our clients. Make sure that they don't have a high Beighton score, which is a score for joint laxity or hypermobility. This would not be appropriate for someone who's got hypermobility with their shoulder. So first thing with the band setup, head height. Head height is ideal. I know sometimes people have squat racks where they hang them up really high. It's not a problem. Just make sure the person has some experience with the band because it can be a little bit harder on the joint and it closes the joint a little bit more. So we always recommend when you first introduce this to a client, be really vigilant about using the head height. Okay, so Ben is going to jump into the band. I would have decked this already, so you notice the band goes around his forearm. And then Ben grabs his other hand and he leans back because it's just a big rubber band, everyone. We want the client to build the confidence. Woo, see this? Look at how far Ben's going. If the client's barely moving, then we need them to build the confidence because it's essential that they give their body weight. So he's pretty good there. My hands here always support him and give him the confidence, and it also lets us check that the integrity of the band has been maintained. So from this position, keeping that tension, Ben just wraps his fingers around the band. Notice that if he opens his fingers, nothing changes. It's just the tension is here. Now he's going to walk his hips back into a hip hinge. The focus here is him walking his hips as far away from the band as possible. A common thing that we see is this. When the person's squatting, that's not what we want. That's not a problem, but in this case, we want all of this to be opening up. So Ben's in a great position. Then we'd have Ben look in the window. Hello. Hello. And then we'd have him look out the window the whole time here, and he can just play around with a little bit of flow or movement. Key here, everyone, is we are romancing the nervous system. Band distraction techniques are quite popular, but most people lose the benefit because they're being so aggressive. If the joint perceives a threat, guess what happens to all the muscles around that joint? Everything tightens up and guards. We want it to be romance. So Ben's just leaning back, and he's doing a gentle dance back and forth. From this position, he stands up, and he's going to do a quarter turn. His feet are together, his legs are straight. I've got my hand here. If Ben feels uncomfortable, he can always open up his stance a little bit and lean his weight that way. So we'll give you that option, but if you're here, feet together, my hand's here. I'm providing support. I'm making him feel safe. And do you notice his shoulder here? Ben, can you drop the shoulder? Almost everyone, show him where you were before. Almost everyone does that. Drop the shoulder, and I can start encouraging Ben to unwind, open things up. This is the opposite to the positions that people are in all day. Most people, during the day, their shoulder's internal rotated. Their scap is popped up because they're on a phone or on the computer. This is exactly the opposite. What do we say? Romance. What do we say, Ben?
Romance.
Romance, everyone.
Romance.
This should not be aggressive. More is not better. Romance. Easy, nice flow for the shoulder. From this position, Ben's going to come back, and he's going to go another quarter turn. The leg that's back is always the same as the hand or arm that's banded. This is key. Almost everyone leans forward. We don't want them to lean forward. We want them to drop down. And as Ben drops down, he starts unwinding. We're opening up all that tissue right through this pec, coming all the way down to the hip. The key here is it's not aggressive. It should be a flow and romance. That's where you get the benefit. The minute your client grimaces, or if they lean forward and there's too much pressure on the shoulder, everything will tighten up. So, and here I can help Ben just opening up. It's also nice to hold on to the wrist because if the band is going to pop off, this tends to be the spot where it comes off the wrist, and sometimes it almost dings you right in the face. So we just keep him unwinding, flowing. He can even slow it down and just unwind and flow. Romance. Romance. That's exactly what we want to do into this position. And that's generally what we recommend is those first three sequences. We'll show you an additional sequence in the next video. Key here is these first three sequences. Get the client to master these three. So Ben, if you want to take that off, and then we can take a look at Ben's right side versus his left side. We can have him do shoulder flexion. A lot of people, you'll see they get a bit more range of motion on that side, but most importantly, we ask Ben, how does it feel as you're making arm circles? Just compare the right side to the left side. You can see that from the range of motion. That's a common finding for most people. Remember, it doesn't work for everyone. You ask the client, how did it feel? If they say it feels excellent, then we know that's something that they can do on a regular basis.